Would you ever do a Simpson-Johnson reality show?
Oh, heck no. No, I haven't. I honestly, like, after doing a reality show, I have not been able to watch reality shows.
You put it all out there. The
I
joys, the happy times, the sad times, the light, the darkness. You did not have to. Why did you want to do this, and what was the hardest part to revisit?
I really wanted to share my journey with everyone because I wanted people to know the ups and the downs and the struggles and the things that we have to go back through in our life and sort out to really understand who we are in the present moment. And I just learned so many tools through therapy after sobriety. It was just the next step for me in my life, and I am an open book. And
you always have been, which is why we love you.
I always have been. Nobody should be shocked by it at all because, I mean, maybe you'll be shocked by some of the struggles that I was actually facing or some of the stuff that I struggled with as a child. But I think that, you know, I just feel like right now I feel so present, and I'm just ready to share it and let everybody else know that they can get through it too.
I cried a number of times when reading your story. One of them was when you were talking about the sexual abuse that you experienced as a child, and it was all so incredibly heart-wrenching. But when you talked about protecting Ashley...
We're 4 years apart, so I wanted to protect her, even though I hadn't talked to my parents yet about it. I had my ways of making sure that none of this was happening to her. And yes, I allowed the abuse to continue without saying anything. So within revisiting the sexual abuse, I really wanted to go back to that child that I was and the feelings that I felt. And, you know, a lot of the stuff was shocking to my parents and to my family, to my Nana. Like, literally, like, everybody has been, like, calling me.
Why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you
tell us? You know, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because if my daughter were to have ever been experiencing that, I want to know immediately.
It changes who you are as a parent.
It does.
Probably too.
It changes. It absolutely has made me put boundaries on a lot of things as a parent, and I wanted other moms to read it and be aware that this stuff is happening, and your child, you know, could feel like they're trying to protect you. You know, I was trying to protect my family by not talking about it because I didn't want it to burden them. I didn't want to break their hearts.
But it was destroying you on the inside.
But it was destroying me on the inside. And I didn't know until a lot later in life how many issues that it actually caused, you know, with going into bad relationships and going into just wanting to fix everybody. And, you know, like the girl that was abusing me was abused as well, and I felt sorry for her, and she wasn't talking about it, so I didn't want to tell people what she was going through. And so I just think there comes a time in our lives where we have to know that truth is what protects us, and
sets
to
us
not
free.
be afraid of the truth, because changes can be made.
That's
in
right.
that moment.
I think for a lot of us in reading your book, it is hard to believe that the beautiful, extremely talented woman, Jessica Simpson, sitting before me, nearly died from substance abuse and alcohol.
Yeah.
How did you keep that a secret for so long?
I mean, it wasn't a secret to everybody around me. It was definitely a secret to the world, but it wasn't necessarily a secret. Like, when I got the call from the doctor telling me that my liver levels were super high, and, you know, it was like my 35th birthday, and we were all in St. Bart's. You know, it was like, so I got the call and I immediately told everybody. So it wasn't like I don't hold back anymore. But at the time, I was shocked that I took myself to that place where I actually could just not be here anymore and not be here for my children. In that moment, I realized and I knew that I needed to stop and I needed to like cut back, but it wasn't until later that I actually took action. I mean, I think to like really get to the place to make a change, you have to be very ready and willing to do it, because once I was ready, then the change was actually a lot easier, you know, because I like hated the bottle. Like I was like, ugh, it was like an X or something.
That's
like,
right.
It's like, nah, I gotta like rid myself of
But
you.
I love how honest you were about it. You were like, I'm going to be honest. I had one more glitter cup. And then I said, bring in the interventionist, you know? That was so you.
I was like, I gotta have one more.
That's right.
And then I'm done, I promise. And I have been done.
That's great. How did you manage to build a $1 billion fashion empire with this going on behind the scenes?
No matter what, like, I am always in our meetings and in our approvals. Even if I was drinking, I was still present. Like, I was still alert. I was tucking people in. I was taking care of everybody. So that was just like my nurturing mentality. It's just who I am. I was able to function that way until it got so out of control that I knew I just needed to surrender. But I mean, I showed up for all the stuff and I continued to help grow the business, and I was there for all of it. And I never missed a beat until I got sober. And then once I got sober, I was like, I need me time. And I'm not, like, I always felt so selfish saying that. Like, I felt bad going on vacation.
Yeah.
So it was like, no, I need to take this time off and clear my head and like go back through the journey of my life and understand myself and why I made these choices and how I can grow from them.
When you had to have a drink starting at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to a school function,
Right.
What kind of perspective did that give you when you were able to say, whoa?
I mean, I'm very conscious in my mind, even if I'm not like speaking it. I'm like, I can't believe that you have to do this. Like, I was disappointed in myself, but I would still pour the drink because I didn't know how I would make it through. I didn't know that I could actually be strong enough without it. And really, I'm way stronger without it. And I didn't realize, I thought that was going to help me through life. I didn't know that it was actually keeping me from living my life.
You talk about that dark Halloween being your rock bottom. When you were at the height of your substance abuse, what were you taking and how much were you drinking?
It was really just like diet pills. It was something that I had been taking for 20 years. So I didn't expect that it was a bad thing by any means. It was just something that I always took, you know, but I was also, I mean, that allowed me to drink more, I think, than the other people that would pass out. Like,
because you had the stimulants in your system, and then
and then the alcohol.
And then to sleep at night.
To sleep at night, yes. I mean, I have insomnia, and I definitely had to take sleep meds
To come down after the day.
Completely. And to try and sleep for 5 hours if I could.
You talk about the diet pills. So you were the tender age of 17 years old when the head of a record label told you, okay, great, we're signing you. Now you need to lose weight.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about that journey and the diet pills and the body image pressures that you faced for years.
I mean, the body image pressures, they never go away because so many people focus on it. I mean, people think right now, like, oh, she snapped back. I did not snap back. I wish I just snapped back, but I worked my butt off.
Yeah, you did.
To shape,
yeah, you had
the
two
standard
tummy tucks over the years.
I wanted it to be. Yeah, and the tummy tucks were back to back. That was after I had lost a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And I had skin and like stretch marks because I had 2 babies back to back, 14 months apart. And I couldn't.
One being a 9-pounder, almost a 10-pounder.
Almost a 10-pounder, yeah. And then with Ace, I was a little bit more healthy.
Yeah.
But I still gained so much weight.
Yeah.
When I get pregnant, I blow up.
Same.
I don't know what it is, but I just blow up.
We listen to our bodies.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Exactly.
We listen to what our bodies need.
Our bodies need, and it's that donut.
That's right. It is the donut.
Or 4.
How will you help your own daughters not succumb to the same body image pressures that you did?
Well, I think that we live in a time right now where women are really embracing the everyday woman, every shape, every size, and that's what we wanted through our brand, through the collection. That's where we saw the biggest response. You know, it's like, thank you for making me feel sexy at a size 12. That's right. It's like, I've been a size 12.
Yeah.
I wanted to feel good too. I know that actions speak louder than words, but I know there are mean girls at school, and I know that my daughter will face those things, but she has confidence already that is like outstanding. So I'm just like, I don't know if it was because of what I went through as a child that like took me down, because I was always on stage and like I was either dressing too seductive, which I wasn't as a child, but it was always about my look, whether it was not covered enough or covered too much.
And I love how when they go out the door, always be kind, sit with the lonely kid. You're an intentional mother. And
I am an intentional mother.
That's wonderful.
We pray for the mean girls at school.
Yes, for them to be shown kindness.
Yes.
And I need to jump now to Nick Lachey. Your dad said, don't marry him, you're too young, but you did it.
I did it.
Do you ever have regrets about that? And also, how much of the Newlyweds do you think contributed to the downfall of that relationship?
With Nick, I was madly in love. I loved everything about the guy, and I wanted to spend the rest of my life with him. I was, 22 years old when we got married, but, I thought I knew my future, and I thought he was going to be in it forever. I thought my dad was completely wrong. I was like, no, I got this figured out. Watch, I'll prove you wrong.
Yeah.
But like within shooting Newlyweds and within like sudden crazy fame, we just grew apart in so many ways, and we both were at fault in a lot of things. But I'm happy for him now. He's married with 3 beautiful children, and that was his purpose, and he took heartbreak and made it into something beautiful, and that's what I did as well. But it took me longer to get there. But he's also 8 years older than me, so he was already so grown up when I wasn't. So once I started to get covers and get endorsement deals that were separate from him, because we did everything together, there was a little bit of tension and like a lot less support. And I just felt in our marriage that we really like were kind of like spinning and trying to tolerate each other towards the end, because we were so used to being mic'd up or on stage, or the world took us in so many ways, and they put us as a trophy couple that we actually weren't. We were at the beginning, but it fell out pretty quick.
Yeah, had to go to the lot next door to quietly scream at one another because you were worried about cameras in your house.
Now, like, it's like I let people in my house and stuff, but I've been so guarded about letting anybody take pictures here or anything like that. But since sobriety, I'm like, everybody come here, come over to the house.
So would you ever do a Simpson Johnson reality show?
Oh, heck no. No, I haven't. I honestly, like, after doing a reality show, I have not been able to watch reality shows.
Yeah.
Because I know what positions these people are put in. Yeah. I know when they go out, they're forced to drink. I know, like, you know, there's so many different things that I just watch happening. I watch the destruction of it, and for people to rise above that is a very hard thing to do.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Can we talk about John Mayer for a hot second? I lost track of how many times
Me too.
you got broken up with.
Yeah.
What was it about him? He was tormenting you, yet you went back to him. What was it about him?
John is an extremely alluring personality. I mean, he walks into a room and he is the room.
Yeah.
Like you want to be near him, you want to be around him. He just starts conversations that are so interesting. He's so intelligent. He's an amazing musician. And the songs that he would write, I mean, they would bring me back in. His apologies would bring me back in.
Always so poetic.
So poetic.
Yes.
I mean, he made everything sound beautiful. So I thought the next time around, like, we had grown and it was going to be better. And then it was like a cycle that I couldn't even keep up with.
It was destructive.
It was very destructive.
Justin Timberlake, you two shared a little kiss after your divorce, but then you kind of left us hanging. What happened next with Justin?
Oh, nothing happened next. Nothing. Justin is like an awesome guy, and we truly, like, we're just at my house and had a nostalgic kiss.
Yeah.
And it was just a funny moment because, and we'd known each other since we were kids, you know? So it was a funny moment. He took his phone out and texted Ryan Gosling. He was like, I won. And I was like, what are you talking about?
And then you were bummed it wasn't Ryan Gosling.
And then I was like, wait a second. Y'all had a bet? Like, if I were to have known this bet,
things may have been a little different.
It might have been the other way around. But Justin's still, like, I mean, he's still a friend. Like, if we were to see each other, it's very normal and natural.
You'd laugh about it.
Yeah, we'd laugh about it.
You're releasing new music that actually inspired this book. What do you want people, when they listen to it and absorb it, what do you want them to feel?
The audiobook is an amazing experience. It was extremely hard and emotional for me to do. I did it in 5 days, and I didn't realize how intense it would be. When I was reading everything, like, throughout the audiobook, you'll hear me, like, I'm very emotional. I cry, and I have to, you know, and you'll probably cry with me. Or be like, wow, she's crying over that? You know, like, there'll be little things that I'll cry at that might shock people, but the music is actually everything that inspired me to get sober and to write the book, because I realized when I was going down into my studio, even though I was in the comfort of my own house, I had to drink to numb the pain that I was about to experience
through the lyrics and through
the lyrics, because I am a soulful writer. Like, everything that I sing, I want it to have a purpose. I want it to mean something. And so I didn't know where these songs were going to go, because they were so poetic and deep and kind of take you to another place. And it would have been lyrics that people wouldn't have understood, and I didn't even understand at the time. But once we wrote the memoir and all that came together, I was like, have we listened to these songs back? Because I feel like I had some weird premonition that things in my life needed to change. And really, those songs are my saving grace.
Maybe that means I'm seeing nothing. Maybe I should have seen it coming. The devil on my shoulders and on the angel's side.
There are 6 songs, and I'm not with a record label anymore, so I'm able to give that to the fans or to the reader or listener. I'm able to just give that to them as, you know, a part of a piece of my journey.
The way you want to. You're the boss.
The way I want to, like, exactly. It doesn't have to be through a label, and songs don't have to be chosen that way.
Anybody telling you what to wear and how to
Nobody's
look.
telling me what to wear, how to look, you know, and how to be, because I just know now.
Congratulations on the book and the sobriety.
Thank
and
you.
You've grown so much
Thank you.
through this, I know. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Course.